We are going to start today's session. To get the data in Power BI Desktop, I'm going to use, so just go to File, Open. Okay, so here I have all these tables here. Okay, now let's load this data in Power Query Editor. Click on Transform Data. So very first thing is, like, in case if somebody give you a Power BI Desktop file, right? Or maybe you have any Power BI Desktop file. You want to change the source of the data, or maybe you want to change the path, or maybe you want to change the permission like credentials in that file. So what you can do, you have to first change. Let's say this file, this report is right now connected to my development database. Okay, but once I do the development, then I connect it to the dev database. But after doing the development, then now I need to connect it to the another database. Okay, so I need to change the database name. Okay, so for that, you can see here data source settings. Click on it. Here you will see that all the data sources which I have right now for this file. Okay, data sources in the current file. In case now, let's say my Power BI, my Excel file is right now placed in this folder. If you have placed in another folder, or you want to connect it with any other file, then simply you need to click on change source, and here you can provide the path of the new source. Okay, this is right now we have connected it using the Power BI using the Excel, so that's why it is showing us Excel file path. Otherwise, like in case if we connected our Power BI desktop file using like any SQL server or any other database, then we will have another window here where we can enter the server name or like database name. Okay, now in case if you want to change the credentials, here click on edit permissions and you can click on added, right? Let's say initially I connected it with my username and password, but when I give this file to you, then you want to connect this file, you want to load the data based on your credentials. So you can just come here and you can change the login credentials. Okay, so this is data source settings, and this you can access from the Power BI Desktop window here. Just go to transform data arrow, click on it, and under this option you can see data source settings, right? It is the same thing. You can open the data source settings from by just going to the file also. Go to file, options and settings, and here also you can see data source settings. Okay, so it's up to you. From anywhere you can open this setting. All right. Another very common thing is, like, most of the people wants to change the format of the columns, right? For example, you have any date column. For that date column, you want to change the format. Okay, so let's say if that if the date column is for example, your DD, MMN, YYYY. Okay, but you want to change it to the another format. So how you can do that? For that, you have to load your data first in Power BI Desktop, then only you can change that. Because in Query Editor, you cannot change the data formatting. If I go to orders table, in orders table, you can see that I have a order date, right? Let me just change the data type to date only. Yes, so now you can see the date format is this. I want to change it to another format. Then first I have to load this data in Power BI Desktop. Okay. Once I close and apply it, then the changes would be loaded into this Power BI Desktop window. It's loading. All right. So now changes have been loaded in this Power BI Desktop window. Now select your column in orders table, order date. Right now you see that what is the date format, right? If you want to change the date format, then here you can see a format option. Just click here and here you can choose any of the date format, which one you want, right? Let's say this one. All right, so date format will be changed. In the same way, if you want to change the date for any format for any other column also, let's say for the freight column, right? So this is a decimal number column. For this column, you want to change the format, then you can just come here and you can change here currency, whether this is a currency column or whatever it is. Or in case if you want to like increase or decrease the decimal points, then here you can enter. Let's say if you want to show the decimal points up to 3 places, then you can just enter here 3 and you will see the results here. Okay, in case if you want to add comma, right, this is just to display the thousand separator, you can add the comma here. In case if you want to change the percentage, if you want to change the add the currency symbol with for this column, then just you go here and you can choose any currency symbol. Let's say dollar, because we want to show the sales and any amount and all these things into the currencies. So what you can do, you can just enable that column here, enable that currency for your column. Okay, now you can see it is showing you $11.61. Okay, for each column you can define it. Let's say for this column you want to show dollar, but for another column, for example, if you want to show like euro, then you can do that, right? So for each column you can do the formatting. Okay, it's from here. Custom formats we do not have here, right? So if you see here, for any column, let's say it's dependent on the column. For freight, you can see these are the formatting which you can choose here. For date column, you can see these are the formatting. Okay, you do not have, as in Excel you have the custom formatting, that actually you do not have here. All right, now again we are going to load this data in Power Query Editor. Here we'll see few of the data transformation operations. So we have already loaded this fill data, right, and transpose data. So let's see that what is this fill data. So we have a data like this in this format, right? We just show the Excel file to you, what kind of data we have. So sometimes we may have the data in this format, and you need to just convert that data into a structured manner, right? You have the data like this. Okay, this is your column header, and you have the data like this. These are your cities, and this is the country, but this country is not populated for each of the city, right? But it is obvious, like this is the country here. Okay, so what you want, whenever you want to, when you will load this data in Power BI, then in the same way you will see the data here. Okay, but here what you have to do, you have to flow the country to the downwards until the next country comes, right? So you want to fill it. Before that, if you notice here that the first row, country and city, should be the column headers. So you need to promote first row as the column header. Okay, how? There are multiple ways. Either you can just click on this table icon and click on use first row as headers, or you can just right click here, and here you can go, not on the right click, just select that row and go here, use first row as headers. Okay, so it's up to you. So just click here, use first row as header. Right now first row has been promoted as a column name. Now we can fill it. So I want to fill on this column, so I select the column, go to transform. Let me first disable this, go to transform, and then I can see here fill. So click on it. Here you see whether you want to fill downwards or upwards. So I select down. Here we'll see data has been filled out for all the countries, for all the cities. All right, so this is very similar to the Excel. Okay, same we can do in Excel also. Next data transformation option is transpose. Transpose is again a very commonly used functionality. Sometimes when you have the data in this format, right, so you want to flip these records like column to rows or rows to column, then you may use the transpose data transformation here. Okay, so if you see the Excel data here, your Excel data something looks like, okay, so this is your region, right, and this is country, and this is city. So ideally these should be the column headers, and these are the values. So what you want to just convert, you just want to flip these rows into the columns. So let's do that. What we'll do, we'll first transpose it, click on this transpose button. Now my rows have been converted into the columns, right? But again, if you see, the first row should be the column header. Okay, first row should be the column header. So we need to promote the first row as headers. Go here and use first row as header. All right, so in the same way, like vice versa also possible, like if you have something in columnar format and you want to convert that, you want to flip it into the rows, then again you can click on transpose. Just click on transpose, and here your data will be transposed. Okay, all right, next we have one more data set here, budget data, right? So generally users create the budget in Excel, right, and after that they want to load that budget or their target data in it's in Power BI, so that they can do a comparison like budget versus actual, or like targeted versus actuals, right? So in this case, your budget data might be in different format. Maybe you can prepare your budget data in this format, right? Like this is like 5 years of budget. Okay, so you have prepared it. It could be like 5 months of budget, not years, so it's up to you. Okay, so this is the format, and this is your budget value. But when you want to work with it and you want to convert it into the different format, what you want something like here you should have the like one row for one year, something like this, 2010, 2011, and 2012, right? And here your months should be coming here into the columns, okay, and the value should be populated here then, okay. So what you can do, how you can convert it, for this we can just pivot this data in Power BI. Let's do that. I have already loaded this data in Power BI. Where here, okay, not loaded. Let's load it. Go to home, new source, Excel. Select budget data file. All right, I'm going to select table 1. Okay. Once the data will be loaded, we'll be able to see that here in a new table. You can see table 1. First, change the table name, budget data, right? Now, what I want to see only one row for each year, and all the months should be converted into the columns. So select your month because you want to convert month into the columns, right? So based on the month, I'm going to pivot this data. So select month, go to transform tab. Under transform, you can see pivot column. Okay, so you use this column in the currently selected column to create a new column. So basically, whatever the values you have in this column, all those values will be treated as a column format. Those values will be created as a new columns. Select it, click on pivot column. Now here you need to choose which is your value column, right? So value column means the budget value. So here I select budget because this is the value column, and then I click OK. Here you can see now I have these 5 rows for the years, and all the months have been converted into the columns. Okay, so now I can view the data in this format, right? Or sometimes maybe it is possible like you may have the budget data or target data prepared in this format in your Excel, and you want to convert that into the tabular format in the previous one, right? Then what you can do, you can simply do vice versa, like just unpivot the data. Okay, so let's say you have the data in this format. Now what you want for your modeling purpose or for maybe your visualization purpose, for any purpose, you do not want to use the data in this format. What you want a year and month and your budget value column. Okay, so what you can do, you will have to select all your months. Okay, select all those columns which you want to convert into the rows. So I selected all these columns. Then here you can see unpivot. Click on it. You see your column, your data has been unpivoted. Now here you can just change the column name because this is my month name, and this value is my budget value. Got it? So this was pivot and unpivot in Power Query Editor. Let's say you have any data set, right? Any transactional table. In that transactional table, you just want to have a quick look that how much data you have in that table. Okay, because when you load the data in Query Editor, you cannot see that how many number of records you have in this table. If you just look here, it is showing you 7 columns and 999 plus rows. Okay, so if you have more than 999 records, then it will start showing you 999 plus records. So I want to count the number of records for any table without loading that. If I load that data here, I can see that. Okay, whether it's like 1 million or billion, I can see the count here. But once data is in Query Editor, then how you will see it? How you will see the number of records in your table? For that, you have a count rows functionality here. Okay, so you can just count. I want to count the data, the number of records in this order table. So you can just click on count rows, and it will show you that, okay, so this is the number of records in your table, right? So it just counted the record, it just counted the rows. Once you get this information, then you can undo this step. Okay, so for just counting the numbers, for just counting, just to know about the count of the records, you don't need to load your whole data in Power BI desktop. You can just check the count within the Power Query Editor also. Why? Because once you have the data in Query Editor, it means the data right now is in your RAM. It's in your memory, right? All right. Okay, I can see it's only work for null values only, right? It's like Control D. Yes, it will work only for the null values. Because you will not have something like, even if there is any country, then that or any other value that will also be replaced by the first column, by the first cell value, because it will just yeah, blank will also be replaced. Whether you have null or blank, everything will be replaced by the value of the first cell. Okay, it's like control D. Okay, until you do not find another value in the same column. Once you find another value in the same column, then that new value will start populating in the next cells. Okay, next question I can see here, pivot, year, month, division and budget. Then how do we pivot? What Nilkanth asked, how do we pivot when there are multiple parameters? Okay, when you want to pivot it. Okay, when you have multiple parameters. Okay, so for that you can check one thing here. Let me just show you whether that fits in your requirement or not. So here we have this data. Now you want to, let's say you have multiple parameters here. Okay, so just click on pivot again. Now here you have one option, advanced option, just enable it. And here you may have, like, let's say, I'm not sure like whether your question was same. Let's say for any specific month, you have the revised budget, right? For example, like January, you have two values, like 10,000 and 2,000, and you want to aggregate that two records in one. Okay, then in that situation, you can choose the value here, whether you want to, by default it is sum, but if you do not want aggregate, you want to see the two records, then you can do that. Okay, let me check your question once again. Your question was what Nilkanth asked, how do we do pivot when there are multiple parameters? Okay. Got it. Like instead of month name, let's say if you have one more column here.
Yes, mine. I mean, let's just say there's a region there, maybe from south, north, and west. And let's just say there's another column. There are multiple parameters. How do it pivots?
Yep. I got your point actually. That actually we cannot do, because here only based on one column only it will work, right? Based on only one column it will filter, it will like pivot your data. Like for example, I have year and month, right? So if based on both columns I want to do pivoting, then it won't work. It will just treat it once, which column I will select the last one. Okay, so let's say I select month and then I select year. So what it will do, it will do the unpivoting based on the year now, right? So it just did the unpivoting based on the year. So it is not possible. Actually, I got your point. Maybe sometimes if you have like multiple columns based on that you want to unpivot, that you cannot do.
Okay, so could it be done using functions or other
using DAX? Using DAX we can do that.
Okay. Yeah,
It is
because
like fully customized. Yeah.
I was
fully flexible.
I was surprised because in Excel you can do this, and then you're saying it's not been done here. But I can do it in other ways if it's not in using a simple pivot button, but there are other ways to do that.
Yep. See here, very straightforward things. Just right click, because these things are provided here. These data transformation operations are like very limited, because everything cannot be shown into the button. So these are the like most commonly and the basic things. If you want to achieve something extra, then for that you have the DAX, right? So you can write the functions, you can write the DAX expressions, and in any format, in any way you want to convert your data, you can do that.
Okay. No.
Okay. All right. Next question I can see here, for data source setting, does the file gets copied to another location, or it will get moved from original location? No, it's something like, let's say I created this report, right, and I share this report with you. Okay, I saved that file in my C drive. Okay, but you save that file in D drive. Then once you will open the Power BI report and you will refresh the data, then it will look in the C drive. Okay, in the C drive folder name Mayank. If there is no folder inside your C drive, then it will give you the error during the data refresh. So what you need to do then, either you have to create same structure in the C drive. In C drive, you have to create a Mayank folder and place the file there. Then your refresh would be successful. Otherwise, you have the flexibility. Don't need to create the same structure in the C drive. You can just change the path here. Okay, so it is just, instead of pointing to C drive, now it will start to point your D drive. That's it. This is the agenda actually for it. We are just changing the setting of this. You are just telling Power BI like, now do not go in C drive to get the data. Now my file is in D drive, go to there. This is about just an Excel file in case if you are getting the data from, like, let's say any database, okay, and that database name is, let's say, dev database. Initially, when developers start working, so we use the development database. But once you move it onto the test or onto the UAT, then you may be required to connect your report with another database. Okay, then you can just go in the data source settings and you can just change data source name. Initially, it was pointing to the dev database. Now it will point test database. Okay, so all the data will start coming from the test database. Once your UAT is approved, then how we'll do? We will point this report to the production database. Okay, and all the data in the report will start coming from the production database. Got it? Now we are going to see some columns functionality in query editor, right? So let's say if you want to create any column in your data, okay, in your data modeling, then you have two options. Either you can create a new column in query editor, or you can create a new column in DAX, right? Here, let's say how we can add new column inside the query editor. For that, we have another tab here, add column. Here you can see custom column, right? So there are like multiple ways to create a column. So if you want to create a new column here, let's say I have order details, right? So in this order detail, I want to create a new column, and that column should be your, like, let's say total revenue, right? And how that total revenue would be calculated, like based on unit price multiply with this quantity. Simple, right? So you want a new column, you want to see a new column here. So what you can do for that, just click on this custom column. Here you need to give your column name, which you want to create, total revenue. Now here you need to write your custom formula. Okay, so the formula you will write here, that you will write here based on the columns which you have here, right? So you have, let's say you want to do unit price into quantity. So it's very simple. Just select the unit price, double click on it, or you can click on this insert button and quantity here. Once you see this green check mark here, it means your expression is valid. Just click on OK button. Once you click here, you can see your total revenue column has been created in your table. When you create new columns, you have to be very careful about the data types of those columns. Right now, you see the data type of this column is alphanumeric. You can see here it is ABC and 1, 2, 3, both values are appearing. Okay, so by default, it just create your column as an alphanumeric column. Okay, but on alphanumeric column, you will not be able to perform any mathematical operation, right? So what you need to do here, you need to change the data type of this column. How? Just right click and go to change type, and here you can choose decimal number. But in case if you are not sure like what should be the data type for this column, you can use built-in functionality in Power BI Query Editor, that is detect data type. So that will automatically detect the data type for your column. So select your column and click on this detect data type. You see it has been automatically detected and changed to decimal number, right? Okay, when you created this column, you can see that a new script, the M script, has been automatically written here. You can see that script, right? And if you want to see that expression here, you can see that this is the M script actually, right? Table.add column, expended products, total revenue. This is your column name, and this is your expression, unit price into quantity. All right. So in the same way, you can create any column, any basic columns only. Again, the same thing comes, like the flexibility you have in Excel, like to create any conditional column, you want to write some expressions based on the filters, then you want to create some column, such kind of thing, then you can create using the DAX. Okay, but on query editor also, you can create some basic columns, because there is a limitation with the DAX. Let's say if you create the same column, right, total revenue, using the same expression, but you create it using the DAX. When you will load your data in query editor window, you will not be able to see that column here, right? So this is the limitation with DAX. Like whatever you will create using DAX, that will not be available. You cannot see that in query editor window. Okay. So now let's say this column is required for you for grouping purpose or for any other further data transformation purpose, then you have to create that column within the query editor. There is another way of creating a column. Let's say if you want to create any custom conditional column, right? Based on any condition, you want to create a column, right? So let's me just get a scenario here. For example, okay, so you have a facts column here, right? So you want to get a new column here. You want to create a new column. Whether if there is facts number, then that column should have yes, and if there is no facts number, then it should have no. Okay, so just a basic example. Or maybe you can write a nested if also, like for example, like multiple if conditions. Okay, like if your profit is like in this range, then it is grade A customer, like rank 1 customer. If profit lies between this and this, then it is grade B customer, something like this. Also you can create the column. Okay, let's see this one. Just click on this conditional column. This works same as if condition. Okay, but here the thing is like you don't need to write if condition even. Okay, you don't need to write any expression. Only you just need to provide the values. Just fill all these values here, and that's it. Behind the scenes, the complete if will be automatically written for you. So my column name is facts available. You will not have something like even if there is any country, then that or any other value that will also be replaced by the first column, by the first cell value. And here I'm going to check if facts number is equal to, you can choose any other operator here. If facts number equals to null, then what we want, facts in facts available column, we want no. Or in other cases, like whether we have the facts number or everything, right? Then it should show yes. Or you can do one thing, you can create another clause, another if clause here, that is like else if. Okay, but it is like only 2 conditions here, so we can just enter the yes here into the else part. You can see a new conditional column. Again, same thing, you need to just check the data type of it. So you can click detect data type. Instead of making this hard code value, you can pass it through the parameter also. Okay, or let's say instead of giving this value, let me show you, instead of giving this value like no, maybe you want to do something like this. If the value of this column is 0, then you want to pick the value from any other column. Okay, that also you can do. How? In output, just change it to a column. Okay, now you can select the any column based on a requirement. For example, if your facts is equal to null, then it will pick the value of city. Okay, so you can pass the 3 things here. Either you can pass a value, or you can pass a column, or you can pass a parameter, right? Question here for data. So okay, so that we have already checked. For where we choose this, from where we choose this add if condition. Okay, so for that we have to go in this add column, right? In add column, you can see conditional column, and that is under the Power Query editor window. You cannot see it in here in this Power BI desktop window. This is in Power Query editor under add column tab. There is conditional column. All right. Next question I can see here, can I add conditional column with sumifs and countifs? Yes, that you can do. But again, the same thing is like whenever you want to write any conditional thing, whenever you want to write any like calculation, because here you need a calculation in sumif or countifs, right? So that calculation you will have to do in your DAX. Okay, so here very basic thing, very basic straightforward columns or something like you want to do, then you can do that. Because here you do not have any flexibility, you have only the columns, right? You have here columns, select any column, whether it is equals to or like basic comparison, basic text comparison, only you can do that. Okay, even like if I select any column which is like numeric column, let me just go to the orders table and I select unit price, conditional column. Yes, I can directly select from here also. So you see that these are just showing you the simple comparison. Yes, you are right. So whatever you want, like conditional basis or calculation basis, okay, so if you want little bit extra thing or advanced thing, then we can do that using the DAX. Okay, because in Excel also we do it using the formula language, Excel formula language, right? So the same thing is here, you have to use Excel formula language, which is DAX. All right, Next question I can see here, can we add cell color? Yes, we can do that once we will start the visualization. Okay, here you cannot add the cell color. Why? Because this is just a data preview. This is not visualization. Once you will do data visualization, you will visualize your data in the tabular format, then you can fill the color and everything. Yes, conditional formatting also we can do. That is in data visualization. Next, I can see here, can you perform conditional or other operation on same column? At one time here, you can do only one thing in query editor, right? You can create a conditional column only. Now, after creating the conditional column, if you want to perform any other operation, like let's say you want to merge that, you want to split that, then you have to perform the another data transformation, another operation on that. If you want to achieve everything in a single, like you want to write an expression and everything you want to achieve in a just one expression, then for that you can create the DAX expressions, because the same thing you do in Excel also. Yeah, conditional formatting based on formula you can do. Okay, so now let's see one more way of creating the column, that is columns from examples. Okay, so let's say you have this unit price column, right? So based on this unit price column, for example, you want to do something like you want to create a new column. In that new column, like the square value of this column should be like up here, or the cube value, or let's say cosine value, or like based on any other logic, or based on any condition you want to get the value here, right? So what you can do, you have some examples, right? What kind of examples? These are the like predefined examples. You cannot make any change there. Okay, so let me just show you. Here you have the unit price column. Now what I want a square value of this, all these values which I have into this column. So what you have to do, you don't need to write a column like this, go to custom column. Okay, and you don't need to write something like this, unit price into unit price, right? You don't need to do like this. Okay, what you can do, you can just select this column, go here, columns from examples, select from selection. Now you will see one new column here. Just double click on the first cell. Here you can see some of the examples, right? And these examples basically you can apply on this unit price column, right? Like let's say this is your unit price, same value if you want, or if you want like base 10 log values, cosine value, cube value, factorial value, square value. If unit price is even, then it should show true. If unit price is odd, then show false. Length of the unit price, right? Like it is 2 characters here, 1 and 4, so it is showing 2, right? So based on these examples, you can get the values in your new column. Let's say I want to get the square of unit price, so I just select this and press enter. It will be automatically applied for all your records, and then click OK. All right, now let's see one more. For example, this product name, you want to check the column from example, so I just click here from selection and just double click here, and once you double click here, then you will see like what kind of further extraction you can do based on this column, right? So from here I can do only two things. Either I can get the same column name, or I can just count the length of the characters in the product, right? So I want to count the length also, then I can just select it and press enter, right? So it will just give you the length of your product names. All right, so in this way also sometimes you may create the columns, right? For this you don't need to write any expression or any other thing. These things you can easily get from the DAX also, but the thing is, like some people who do not have the Excel knowledge, or they don't understand expressions or formula languages, then for them such kind of basic things they can easily achieve by just these drag and drop or click buttons only. Okay, they don't need to write any script on any formula for that. Okay, so is there any doubt? All right, can see if I need length -1, can I select this and add it? Yeah, that's why what I said, it is just predefined examples. You cannot do that any addition or deletion. If there are like 3 examples are coming, it means Microsoft enabled 3 only for as of now. Okay, but it's like new examples like coming up very frequently here. Okay, but most of the examples are coming here for like for the integer or like for decimal numbers. Okay, so it is something like it is defined here. From one column you can get these 10 things, then only 10 things you can get. You do not have any flexibility to write anything here or to get any other thing here. Once you get this column, then further you can do any kind of data transformation on it. Let's say I got this square value. Now I can use this column for like merging the tables, or maybe for grouping the tables, for any other purpose also, right? Once I got the column, then on this column I can perform any kind of operation. All right. Okay, there is one more that is always easy. Just in case if you want to create any index column, right? Maybe it can be like useful sometimes for sorting purpose. You can create an index column here, right? So here you have the index column. This index column you can start from 0 or from 1 or from any custom range, from any custom value also. Let's say you want to create you want to start your index column from, like, let's say from 10. Okay, so you can just click here and you can define starting from 10 and what should be the incrementer, whether 1 value or 2 value or 5, whatever you want. Okay, so if I select 1, so now you will see here, you will see a new index column. Let me just take this column to the beginning. Right, so now you can see this is your index column. You can start it from 1 or from 0 also. All right. Okay, so all these data transformation operations basically you can perform from the query editor window. Okay, still there are like few more basics, but you can just try to explore them, right? For example, if you right click on any table, right, then you will see this move up and move down. It's like very basic. Like, for example, if you want to move any table up or down, then you can do that. Okay, now you will see one thing here. For example, here I have total 18 tables in this data model, right? But let's say only 5 tables I need for my data visualization purpose. Rest of the 13 tables are required for me for data transformation here only, for the query editor. I do not want to load all tables, all 18 tables here, right? What I want to load only those 5 tables which are required for me for the visualization, or maybe for the report development, right? But let's say I loaded 13 other tables. Those tables were required for me for data transformation purpose. So what I can do in query editor, I can disable this. If you do not want to load this table in Power BI Desktop, then you can disable this load. Now, this table will not be loaded in Power BI Desktop. What is the benefit of doing it? Let's say you have 18 tables and only 5 tables data is required for you in Power BI Desktop. Then when the data will be loading in Power BI Desktop, then it will take less time in comparison to like loading all the 18 tables data. Now it will be loading the only 5 tables data. So your data load will be very fast. This is the one thing. Second thing, let's say you want to make any table as a static table. For example, if I loaded the data from I have one table in my database, that is currency exchange. Okay, I loaded the data from that table. In that table, data is changing like very frequently, but I do not want to change that. Once I loaded it, then till next year, I don't want to change the data in that table. So what I can do, I can exclude that table from the data refresh, because whenever I click on refresh, or whenever I will refresh the data in my report using the data gateway, that will refresh the data in all the tables. If there is any scenario like where you do not want to refresh the data of any specific table, then what you can do from the query editor, you can exclude that report and report refresh. So once I exclude it, now data will not be refreshed for this territories table. Let's say if I have 10 records in this territory table today, and let's say new data has been added in this territory table, new territories have been added, but those territories will not be loaded here. Even I refresh manually here, or if I refresh the data through the data gateway, that new data will not be loaded here. Why? Because I have disabled the refresh of the data for this table. Okay, there are two things: enable load, which load the data in query in Power BI Desktop. Okay, if you do not want to load the data, then you can disable that. And the second thing is whether you want to refresh the data in that table or not. So you can control that using this include in report refresh. Got that? Okay, in custom function, you can write, you said custom function or custom column?
Column.
Custom column. So here, for example, you want to create a new column here in your customers table, right? You want to create, where is that customer? Here. In this customers table, I have a city column and I have a country column, right? What I want for my data visualization purpose, okay, and what I want to visualize, I want to show my total sales on map, okay? So for that, first I need to have a geographical column. I cannot use city individually. Why? Because one city may be in may exist in like more than one country, right? So what I want to create a concatenated column like location based on the city and country both. So what I want to make a concatenation like country, comma, city. Okay. So for that, I'll create a custom column here. Your column name is location. This is your column name. Any name you can give here. And now you want to define your country. So you can select the country, just double click on it. And now you want to add hyphen between them, or you can add a comma, whatever you want. And this ampersand basically helps you to concatenate the value. Then you add city. Done. Just click OK. Here you can see your new column is ready, which is like a concatenation of the country and city. That's it. You can change the data type. Just go here and change data type to text.
Yeah, this can be achieved in normal custom column as well, right? What is the difference between function and the column?
I think you asked the custom column only. Custom function is, are you talking about this invoke custom function or only custom column?
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to load this data in Power BI Desktop. When I load the data here, you can see three options: close and apply, and close. So close means Power Query Editor window will be closed, but nothing will be loaded. Nothing will be applied in your Power BI Desktop data. If you want to apply the data there also, then you have to click on apply, but this query editor window will not be closed. If you want to close this window also and you want to load the data also, then just click on this close and apply, or directly you can click on the button that will be automatically selected, close and apply. Now your data is being loading into the Power BI Desktop. And it will load the data only for those tables where you made the changes, where you modified any column or any data or any transformation you added. It will load the data only for those tables.